Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to Satisfactory, and boy do we have an episode today. Update 7 has been released onto Experimental, bringing with it blueprints, overclocking changes, speedy ziplines, conveyor roof mounts, and a few other quality of life improvements too. I know what you're thinking, the conveyor roof mounts are the best thing, and quite possibly they may be. So, let's jump into the episode. There's so much to do that we gotta get going quickly. So on the right side of the screen we have the to-do list. We're gonna unlock some stuff in the MOM. Check out the new DNA tickets in the Awesome Sync. Obviously get the milestone for blueprints. Set up our very first blueprint, a 9-way splitter. That should be kind of fun to do. Have a look at the railway and apply some new blueprints so we can just copy and paste these archways throughout the railway so I don't have to go around painstakingly building them. Unlock supercomputers in the MOM and then power boost our oil facility and set up a refinery with smokeless powder production. So at the end of the last episode I ventured out into the wilderness. I encountered many a foe, I came face to face with my fears, and I questioned the very reality of this whole playthrough itself. What is Fix-It? Why am I on this planet? Why can't I read tooltips correctly? All of these things, I had to wonder. But we did pick up a lot of hard drives, and we were scanning them all the way up to the end of the episode, and we've got the results of our second to last hard drive that we have. Not very good in my opinion. I'm just going to go with the steel rod. That turns steel into 4 iron rods at 48 per minute. Plastic coated iron, that's kind of okay, but obviously you're using oil, and then I don't know why you'd ever want to make automated miners automatically. Why you'd ever want to automate that, but maybe there's a reason, I don't know. Either way, we're going with this one. Boom. Now, we have another hard drive, but before we use it, there's a few different things in the chains here. Namely, Power Poles Mark III. So at the end of the last episode, we had just set up high-speed connectors. I changed one of my manufacturers from computers to high-speed connectors. And we've made several hundred of them. They're storing up in the box at Circuit City. We'll go back and get more later. But we can get power poles right now because we needed 100 just for that. And then I'm very eager to get these supercomputers later on in the episode. I just don't quite have enough high-speed connectors right now. So we'll get some of it later. And then hopefully we'll be even able to get programmable splitters and geothermal power. Which apparently is not that strong, but it's fun. So I want to try it out. And at the level I'm at now, actually, I think it will make a difference. So, the other things to get are mycelia. We have the vitamin inhaler and the therapeutic inhaler. So, not much stuff there, but might as well get it while we're dabbling around with the MOM anyway. So, I'm just going to dump a bit of steel in there, free up my inventory. We need this, this, and this, and this. Alright, let's go back. Open up alien organisms. Another one we need to get is this. Hostile organism detection. Scannable object enemies. So, when I was out in the wilderness, facing my fears, it would have been nice to know if we were going to come across a massive spider, and now we can do that if we really wanted to, by flicking this to enemies. Luckily there are none around, so we are safe for now. Next thing then, in the mycelia tree, we'll just get these... I forgot to actually pick up the mycelia. Silly Darren. My silly Darren. Okay. Unlock. So I believe these inhalers are all the same. They have different names, but they basically just give you different recipes to get a medicinal inhaler, which is a 1 pump full health sort of thing. Again, necessary when you're going out into the wilderness. And I think that's basically it for everything I wanted to get in the tree today. We'll get the well, not today, but at the moment. So we'll get the rest of that stuff later. Let me just put any of this crap back. Actually, we'll keep the alien things. The alien DNA capsule. So you basically convert the alien protein into those. Had I known that we would have been able to sync these in order to get DNA points, or sorry, awesome sync points and get tickets, I would have picked up a lot more of the animals and not eaten them or whatever, a lot more, and just converted them into that. I'm also going to deposit my batteries here because I don't need them. Anything else I don't need? Nope. Alright, let's just put the hard drive in and let it do its thing. We'll see that in 10 minutes. So, on the to-do list, we can now tick that off the box. That is the MOM stuff done for the early game. Next thing is checking out the new DNA points. So we need 1,000. So I think you do get 1,000 for each capsule that you send in there. And we've got 8. So we'll see how many tickets we can get. We're on 10 tickets right now. And we have 8 capsules. And we'll pop them in. Just really quickly though, I wanted to just pick up all the AI limiters in here. Throw them up there. And then basically just make a belt that leads from here into there. 1 AI limiter can go in. That's okay. And then we'll put in 8 capsules. And we can watch it rise. Yes. I wonder are they ever going to allow you to automate this, because it kind of seems like the fact that they have DNA points per minute would make it seem like, you know, there's some future in which this could be a thing. Alright, there we go. We just basically got 5 more tickets right off the bat, just like that. So we'll just print those out. I do actually have like 30 tickets or something left back up at the oil plant. I don't have them with me. It's going to take 2 of these. We can leave them where they are. Alright, so let's continue. So that's the DNA tickets. It's basically just another sort of way to get tickets. And it's really nice because obviously if you're further into your campaign, you're struggling to get some for whatever reason. Or it's just, even in the early game, actually, it's just a quicker way to get them by going out, exploring, killing some animals, converting them, etc., etc. So the next thing is going to be actually to unlock the blueprint milestone. So at tier 4, we have Fix-It Blueprints, a new milestone that's been inserted behind where we are in terms of progress. So we have the Blueprint Designer and the Build Gun upgrade for blueprints. So you don't have a separate gun or anything, it's just part of the one that you have. It's just considered an upgrade, which is nice. So we've almost got everything, we just need to go fetch some cable. Okay, so we were lacking a couple hundred cable. Now we make cable over here, so we can use our trusty new zip lines, which are faster than ever. Now I actually really like zip lining, and I always have. And now that we're like, I didn't even really get to see it there, but we are way faster now, especially if you hold shift. That's how you go faster. Alright, we'll just fly back. The speed! Nice, love it. Alright, so let's just dump in our cable and hit the big red button. Boom. Alright, off to fix it goes. We have the access to the Blueprint Designer. I have the materials already. I know where I'm going to build it. We're going to build it right over here in this big open area. It would be nice in the future to build a sort of a blueprint room. I think I'll probably have a few of them around the place, not just one, because you can have multiple buildings if you want. And depending where you are, you might just want to set one up when you're about to build a new factory and then go like, yeah, I've just made a row. Now I'm going to copy and paste this row. Alright, so Blueprint Designer. First things first, we'll put down some foundations, of course. In fact, let's just switch this to concrete. Foundation 4, snap it to the world grid, because why not? Go across to 4. So that's 6 across. I'm a bit too far out this way. I'll just chop that one off. Add this one on. Alright, let's go to 6. That plant might be kind of in the way. Yeah, maybe I'll just build around that plant instead. Alright, I'll just add on to this side. Man, if only there was a way to do this without having to do it manually every time. If only there was some sort of blueprint designer where we could copy and save the foundations in a big grid. Oh wait, there is. Let's build it. So, we'll just move it over to the left, tilt it around so it faces me, and center it. Doesn't need power or anything, it just works. It's amazing. Alright, so I've obviously played around with this a little bit before, but for those who don't know, and I'm sure people who are keen have already looked up information about this or played with it themselves, but basically we have a 4x4 grid in terms of foundation size, 32 by 32 by 32, rising up. And anything we build in here essentially gets saved, if we choose to, saved as a blueprint that we can then put on our hotbar or in our build menu and build it again in future. So everything that we can fit and cram in here. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, obviously, especially for some of the bigger buildings like refineries or for manufacturers. So I'd like to see it maybe increase just ever so slightly, but I do like the idea that it is constrained. I actually really like that. You end up building sort of puzzle pieces and have to fit them together, but for the type of builds I do, I actually don't think I'm going to be using it that often. So I tend to build things spaced out just to make them look nice. And this sort of encourages you to build everything in a really, really small space. So don't know if I'll get that much use for like actual factory building, but what there's great utility in it for is building cosmetics, at least for me. So those railway arches, for instance, that will fit inside there. And then I could just copy and paste them all along the railway, which is what we're going to be doing. So the first thing I thought I would do with building a new blueprint is making a 9-way splitter. So let's just toggle off the blueprint milestone. That's now done. We have it forever. And I'm going to make a 9-way splitter because I had mentioned before that I'm thinking of building a hyperforge. There are 9 types of ore in the game that could be kind of smelted. And so I want a train to be able to deliver ore on any type of ore on one belt into a sorting section that then spits out all the different ore along different belts. So we need programmable splitters to do this. We don't have that just yet. We're about to get that maybe at the end of the episode. But for now, I'll just leave them as regular splitters and we can upgrade them later on. We can always just load back into this blueprint and resave it if we want to. Alright, so there's our 9 splitters basically, or at least our 9 outputs. But now we need to configure it so that it fits within a 2x2, well not a 2x2, but a 2 width of foundations, because the train platform, the freight platform that unloads things, if I want to stack a freight platform here and then there, all touching next to each other, it means that we have to have these sorting facilities sort of in the range, in the borders of these 2 lines here. So that was the challenge. Split something 9 ways, but fit it within 2 foundations. And I've done it. So I mentioned I'd done it before, but I haven't actually blueprinted it yet, so that should be fun. So we're just going to get our elevators. We'll stick them at the back here. And then we need the elevators to happen at the sides, but unfortunately we will be clipping over the edge, and we can't have that. So we got to fix it. So we'll just move to here, raise this up to 2. I think it should be here, actually. Yep. And then we'll grab our elevator again, and we'll start from the pole, bring it down, flip it, and reverse it. Okay, there we go. Now we are just about in that line. Perfect. Alright, we'll get rid of the poles, they're not needed. Okay, then the next thing would be switching to the mounts, the stackable conveyor poles, and just creating a sort of a line so that we can bring everything out to the same place. And they're 2 in height, all good. Now we'll get our actual belts, use Mark IV, and just link them all up. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Yeah, all good. Then we'll get this one, drag it out here, and tuck it underneath the pole. And we'll drag this one, rotate it, so that's in line, push it as far back as it goes to get the best kind of curve, and then stick it there. Do the same on this side. Oops. Just rotate with the mouse wheel, obviously, as well. Alright, just bring that forward to here. And then the last thing to do would be to hook up the actual insides. And have the actual input somewhere there. Okay, and then just to save on materials slightly, we can chop away at some of the poles. I'm actually happy with those poles, they look fine, but these ones can go. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 9-way splitter. 1 input, putting out 9 things. If we make them programmable, we can then tell them what to actually do. And that's it. Done. So now what we can do is go over to our blueprint designer and say, this is now a splitter. We'll call it 9-way. And then a splitter that evenly distributes, what would we say? 1 belt 9 ways, basically, right? Not the best language for it, but you get the idea. I'm the one reading it, so I think it'll be fine. Splitter. We'll use the programmable image. We'll save it. We'll set the directory. So you may see that I've actually been working on my own blueprints as well. So it's not my first one, but it's the first one I thought I would do in the episode. And then I'll show you the other ones I'll be working on in a second. But now we have it. So now we just click this. Go to blueprints, click it. And there we have it. So now we have this little blueprinted splitter thing. This 9-way splitter. Done. Alright, cool. And we can even categorize it and stuff now if we want to. Just gonna wait for the autosave. Boop. Okay, that was a big one. Right, let's just clear the designer. Take back our stuff. Right, the place is empty. And we can have a look at what else I made. So we're gonna load the blueprint for the railway pillars. Don't know why that didn't work. I don't have the resources. I don't have the steel. Oh, I forgot to pick the steel back up. Oh my god, I have to go get that. Well, we kind of have to go up here anyway because the mom is finished, so we can go check what recipe we just got. I totally forgot to pull all that steel back out of the box that I started with. Hey, there's our... The hell? Alrighty, we're here. Steel. I left it down there, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. What do we get? We have recycled plastic, rubber and fuel into plastic at 60 per minute. Steel canisters, which actually came up before, and I had tossed around the idea of maybe getting that. Maybe. Because it cuts out the need for plastic. So, yes, I guess so, right? Cuts out the need for oil, plastic. You just go straight from steel into something else. Let's do that. Won't need it anytime soon, but good to get. Alright, let's head back and quickly just check our blueprint designer and check the other blueprints we made, and then we'll go back out to the world and get a bunch of new things. Alrighty, we're here. So, let's load up our railway pillars top part. Yes. So there we go. So that is the exact design that I made of these things over there. And it's done with, whoa. It's done with the same power setup, the light switches, they all stay the same color, everything works. So it's really, really good. So let's just collapse that back down. Load another blueprint. Let's check the refinery ×3. So this is a standard little setup for 3 refineries in a row with elevators and pipes feeding in. I have this little red section on the left to let me know which way to face it when I'm putting it down, because I was getting confused with that. So I've done that in a few of my builds, actually. Put a little bit that you just have to chop away after you put it down, and then you connect things up. It actually does create this weird extra box, like, coming out the front of it. I don't know why it does that. It's just some sort of weird symptom of the blueprinting system. But that's it. So we'll be using this a little bit in future as well, just every now and then. Good to get one done. And then let's clear that. The last one would be the foundation. So it's just straight up 4x4 foundation, so I won't struggle as much when I'm building it like I did at the beginning. Alright, so that is basically blueprints. The only other thing I guess you're missing then would be this one. I don't think I'll ever use this. I was just messing around when I saw it. And this one. This is a refinery manifold. So if I wanted to feed those refineries, I just have a thing that's the exact width of a refinery, so that I can do that quickly as well. So that's how you can modularly kind of put things together, I guess, sort of. Alright, we'll leave it. Let's take everything back out of here, and let's get going. So we're going to build at least one of these railway things, so I can just show you how quick that is. So we'll just mark this off the list, that the 9-way splitter is now designed. And we can put them in the categories and make them look a bit nicer. I've only got one row right now, so I really don't need to do that. I'm fine. I've colored cosmetics are blue, and logistical stuff is red, for me at least, in the blueprint designer. So that way, at least in the menu, it's like at a glance I can quite quickly see which things I'm looking for. But obviously you can create your own categories and everything. It's great. I think it's an awesome, awesome system. Alrighty, here we are. So I'm just going to throw down a train and we'll get moving. So we're going to head back up to my oil processing plant. But on the way, we'll add in one extra, maybe 2 if I can afford it. I don't think I've got enough steel to build 2. But an extra one of these, like, archways. And then if we pass by at nighttime, we should see that it's pretty much powered. Working and looking the same as the other ones. No need for an archway here, because there already is one. Alright, so this is our stop. Slam on the air brakes. Alright, cool. So basically I'm building them every, I can't remember how many tiles it is, but it's every time we have signals, every time there's a break in the thing. So what I've done with my blueprints for this, the railway pillars top, I have written top because it's like the top part, not the bottom part. I did have the bottom part originally done, but it wasn't really working the way I wanted to. So I was also struggling to know which facing direction I was having, but if you see, I should just get out of the way before I get hit by a train. There's a train coming that way as well. Okay, it's getting busier. I have this little thing here, so I can see. I just have to look at where I'm putting it down, because obviously it's awkward to kind of build in 3D, but if you have a focal point that you can stare at and know where to snap things onto, helps massively. So I know that tilting out to the left is the right way to go. And just like that, it's done. So now I can just get rid of this bit and this bit. It even retains the color and everything. So what I'm going to do is, this is where things will get a bit awkward for building these, but I do power their lights by basically being down here. So the power thing is just right there. You just hook it up to here. And then I'll just run along and connect it to the other one, basically. I usually stomp it about halfway and then connect it. Oh my god, it's so finicky trying to stand on the tiniest little pole. There we go. The wire's too long. Oh my god. Alright, this one should be long enough just to reach the other way, and that will give it power. Bonk. Alright, good. And that's it. Now, obviously it doesn't have its legs, and like I said, I was experimenting with the idea of like making a blueprint for its legs, but I couldn't get it to attach on when looking from below. It'll only attach on from when looking down, so it's like I couldn't attach it to here. I can only attach it if I was looking at the ground, and it's hard to line things up that way. So, but it's not a big deal. I could just copy these and like drag them all the way down. You know, this bit's like super easy. It's not like I'm so lazy I need to blueprint that. It's the top bit that's the kind of really awkward bit anyway. And this is all just purely cosmetic anyway, so get it something like this. Do the same for this side. And then we need our big support on the bottom. That actually takes concrete to support, weirdly. And then I just paint it black, and that's basically it. That's how I do them. And, oh yeah, the only thing we're missing then would be a ladder. So, the ladder can just go pretty much all the way up here. That'll get us back to the top should we need it. Oh, nice, they fixed this. This wasn't latching on before. They seem to have fixed it in that hotfix. That's nice. Is that a continuous climb? It is. There we go. Done. And just like that, I mean, you've no idea how long these take me normally. So this is a great feature. I'm able to build it super fast. It has my settings and everything in place. It's awesome. It's really good. So I'm very happy with that. And we can just make loads of them. But unfortunately, I'm very low on steel, so I can't really make any more. So what we're going to do next is get our supercomputer started. And we're here at Circuit City where we can do it. So I'm just going to go and say that the rail design is now done, so you get the idea. Now I can go place many of these around at pretty much all the junctions I have. But in the meantime, let's get in here and get supercomputers unlocked. So for those who don't remember, this is Circuit City. I've got, well, basically we make computers here and high-speed connectors. We bring in all the materials at the upstairs, such as quick wire, plastic, screws, that kind of thing, cables. Alright, main facility, so here we are. So this is the one that's doing the high-speed connectors, and they flow out underneath the floor here, and we made that sorting room in the last episode for that. So let's just make a MAM somewhere here. It's facing the wrong way, but whatever. Go into Caterium, and we need 30 more high-speed connectors. Let's see if we got them. Yes, we do. We have 182. Excellent. How many computers do we have? We've got a thing full of computers, and then that's our overflow box, so that's fine. All right. So Caterium, supercomputer. So now we need to make supercomputers. We need 50 to get geothermal generators and 50 to get programmable splitters. I want the programmable splitters, so let's switch this manufacturer, which isn't even powered on, to the recipe for supercomputers, which needs computers, AI limiters, high-speed connectors, and plastic. We've got plastic feeding in already, so we can just feed everything else ourselves, I guess. Is that a big deal? Not really. We make computers here in this place. I have loads of AI limiters with me. We have high-speed connectors. We make them here, and plastic is going to be flowing in itself anyway. But this isn't on. This isn't turned on yet. So I'll just cut that as well, because we don't want it going into the awesome sink, because it would, because I haven't set the splitter up to tell it not to. Programmable splitters would tell it not to, because you can list multiple items. This is manufacturer E, powered on. A, B, and you can see the letters above, of course, C, D, and E. E is now online, and we fed it manually, so it should be totally fine for quite a while. And we can even overclock the crap out of it. So overclocking has changed. It's now less severe. So something people had mentioned in the previous episode actually about overclocking was, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but effectively overclocking isn't linear, yeah? If you overclock something to 200, let's say you're consuming, I don't know, 5 power, and then you double the speed. You're not consuming 10 power, you're consuming way more than that. I don't know what the exact rate is, but it's more. It's exponentially more. The more overclocked it is, the more and more and more power it consumes beyond a reasonable rate. And then vice versa, if you were to lower the rate down below 100%, you actually save more power than it would be even required for 100%. But they've changed both of those thresholds now to make it so that's not as extreme in either direction. So you can overclock a lot, and you save more power than you did before the update. So update 6, it costs you more power to overclock. Update 7, it costs you less power to overclock. That's the important thing, really. So we'll do, but when it comes to overclocking power itself, like fuel generators, it is linear, and I didn't actually know that. And that's, I don't know if that's changed or what they've done with that, but now we're going to go over to the oil processing plant and just overclock the crap out of my fuel generators because we were making too much fuel anyway. So this is going to be making them in the background, right? We've got 6 right now. We needed 50. I think we've got enough in there for 50. If not, let's just top it up a bit anyway. And can I could improve that belt as well, couldn't I? Just so it gets its plastic a little bit quicker. It needs 130. That's a belt of 120, so at least it's almost there. And I'll just pick up some extra computers and make sure it's top fed. Okay. And then we'll come back here later in the episode and see if we've made 50. I haven't worked out the rates, so I'm assuming it will work. So I'll just pick up 8 now. Just make sure they've got everything they need. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the supercomputer. We've never looked at them before. There it is. I mean, it looks like... Is it just a computer with a box on top? I think that's what it is. Sure, supercomputer. There we go. We've got 8. We need another 42. Alright, let's get moving. So we're gonna go to the oil processing plant. We'll just take the train. And we'll be there in no time. So that is the mom supercomputer done, by the way. We're flying through the list today. What a organized episode, eh? Alright, Circuit City Station, here we are. I was trying to also blueprint roof tiles with lights and stuff on them, but I couldn't get it to work in terms of placing it down. But maybe that's been fixed. There was the update did say they fixed a bunch of little small things like that. The hotfix, that is. Okay, electric locomotive, boom. Alright, we'll just bank. I'll take a hard bank on the right here. I think I can go all the way around. Sweet. Alright, easy. Off to the oil processing plant. We've got a lot of stuff to do here. Probably stick around this place for the next couple of episodes, actually, building it up. Although there's a little bit more I want to do with going out and finding more hard drives. And the geothermal vents I'd like to go out and set up as well. We can do both. 2 birds with 1 stone with that thing. Let's just slow ourselves down, because this whole area is a disaster zone. That's why I want to like clean it up and make it look a bit nicer. Alright, cool. Just put that train back in my pocket, and away we go. So, if you remember in the last episode, if you watched it, we built these extra turbo fuel refineries. So we've got a bunch in a row now. Loads of them, all in a line. And this should be probably full by now of turbo fuel. Almost. It's getting there. We're overproducing turbo fuel. And I had said at the end of the last episode, oh my god, I need to build like 30 more generators when we worked out the numbers. But turns out we don't need to do that at all. We can just stick in a bunch of overclockers and max this bad boy out. So we're going to go from 4.5 turbo fuel to 11.25 and 375 output instead of 150. So it's 250%, you know? I mean, it's linear. It works just like it should now. So we'll just go down the line and add all of these in. I luckily have quite a few power shards because I don't really overclock machines too often. And after we went out last episode finding bugs and stuff, we just have loads now. I assume, I don't know if I've actually worked this out to have enough for all of these machines, but I should do. So it's really cool. We can just see our line, our black line here is just rising, the amount of stuff we're producing. The black line is the important line. That's our power output right now. The orange line is what we're consuming. The blue line is what we could be consuming if we were to power on every machine we have all at the same time. That's like the potential capacity, the max consumption, I should say. I believe the motor factory is basically stalled because we just have a box full of motors and I do not have an awesome sink there to keep it running. So as a result, we're actually below, we've been below the amount of power we could have for a long time. But now with all this seems like we'll still even have more turbo fuel left over. Alright, just 8 more to go. Oop. It's very loud in here. Can't hear my Minecraft music. I get a lot of people asking in different episodes like, oh my god, I'm so sure I heard StarCraft music. It's like, nope. The only soundtracks I've ever played are Factorio and Minecraft. And the base game soundtrack as well. Alright, looks like it's going to be a fine... Do I have 6 left? Oh yes, I've just got enough to power everything on. And then I'll just quickly add up the amounts to make sure that this is sustainable. I think it is. So we have to work our way back to the beginning to check this out. And actually, just really quickly, can I check a power supply? There's no power anywhere. It's all tucked away. Damn efficiently. Just fly up here for a second. I just want to check the power. Oh, am I not allowed to check it? Oh my god. Alright, whatever. I'll just leave it. Oh, that's cool. All the lights are white on them now. So, I wanted to see what we were on before, but we're now producing 8,850 megawatts. So that's good. I think we were on something like... We were just above this line, weren't we? So probably about 5,000. So we just gained like 3,000, probably. Either way, big gains. So, let's work our way all the way back out to where fuel... If you remember, we added all this turbo fuel from an excess of heavy oil residue that we had. And they're very ham-fistedly added in here, because this place was expanding. So let's see, are they operating okay? 12%. It's not operating, it's backed up. But with all the increased power demands, I imagine that it won't be backed up anymore. But that means that heavy oil residue is being backed up, which is not good. Aha. Okay, well that's alright. Let's fix this. So, oh, I'm low on plastic. Damn it. Let's just go grab some plastic very quickly. There's actually some right here. I need about 60, I think. That should be enough. Because we're going to build 2 fluid buffers here and handle the heavy oil residue in these. Alright, we're going to cut that pipe, which cuts off the heavy oil residue supply, actually, for a moment. And we'll put down a couple of junctions here. And then just grab the pipe, connect this into this, connect that into there, this one into this one. So now we're feeding into this buffer, and this buffer is just going to feed into this buffer. So we've now got 2 buffers of heavy oil storage, just in case there is some... I don't know, backup, and then feed this into here. Okay, so heavy oil, we'll just color it now so we can clearly identify it. Load the preset heavy oil residue, not that it matters, but we'll make the other one black, and then color these pipes. So purple, purple, color the things as well. I'll leave the junctions black, just to have a little bit of a nice trim. Okay, and we know that they're orange because they're doing fuel, basically. So I've got a little bit of heavy oil building up in here. That's alright. So, let's check it out. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16. That's 160 fuel. Plus another 40 there, and 40 and 40. So 160, 200, 240, 280. So we're making 280 fuel, which is running along this pipe below me. And one other thing I'd like to do, actually, is put down a valve, if I could. I noticed things were backwashing a bit. It's not, I mean, it would fix itself over time, but it's no big deal having it there. Leaving that to flow freely. So that's 280 fuel per minute flowing into this room to be fed into all of these machines. These machines then are consuming 22.5. So 280 divided by 22.5 means you've got 12.44444444. So what we'll do is we'll underclock the last machine here, because there's 13 of these. This is number 12, and this is number 13. This needs to operate at 44%. 44, ideally 0.4444, just to get it right. Okay, so that turbo fuel is then going to go out and go into here. Alright, so that balances that. Now what we can do is check, okay, how much power are we making? How much turbo fuel are we making? 18.75 times 12 is 225. I'll just write that down. 225 turbo fuel plus the extra little bit that comes out of here, 8.33. So it's 233.33 turbo fuel. That is what we make in this place. And we have enough charcoal or compact coal for it too. Alright, so now we'll just calculate really quickly how much turbo fuel are we consuming. 11.25, and we've 18 generators. That's 202.5. 202.5. So, obviously, that leaves us with about 31. Leaves us with an excess of 31. But that's not the only thing that uses turbo fuel. We also make packaged turbo fuel in this room. And it goes up there. We can just see it heading out. So, that means that this thing is consuming 20. Now we could overclock this bad boy, should we wish, and really try to balance this out. Because that 20, so ultimately what we need to do is do 233.33 minus 202.5. That leaves us with 30.38. So if we could get this to 30.38, that'd be pretty good. Let's just leave it at 30, right? A little bit extra. So that only leaves us with 0.38 extra. And we're making more than enough plastic as well. So yeah, there we go. That's 30 canisters need to come into here. So we need to overclock the... Oh, it's running at less. So let's say 30 per minute. Feels smart, man. Right? I think. I hesitate to say that, but it feels like that should balance it. Should balance everything so that heavy oil residue does not get backed up now. We're consuming every little bit of fuel that we make. Now, maybe one day, if we do get a little bit of extra fuel, we can toss it into a packager and get myself some fuel for the jetpack that we have. That would be nice. Okay, so what else? That's so we want to set up smokeless powder. So the way we do that is we'll set up a refinery here. A bit temporary. Not really too sure how this is going to work in the future. But we'll just make it something like this. Well, actually, we could face it this way. It's not a big deal. We just fly up to this. Okay, so that's one refinery. And then we have our pipes. Can feed straight in there. So a little bit of heavy oil residue will go in here. And we'll tell it to make smokeless powder. Ah, you bastard. I forgot to actually bring the powder with me. So we can't power that on. I'll have to run back and get some. But yeah, let's just hook this up somewhere. There we go. Yeah, I meant to just put it in my inventory. It was right there at the beginning. I remember planning this out, thinking like, oh yeah, we could do that if I just bring the black powder with me. There may be some in the car, so I'm just going to quickly check that. The car is just around the corner. We've got fuel in there. Crap and fabric. The car is just over here. Any powder in it? Unfortunately no. But we do have our coupons in here, so there's another thing we can do. Let's grab those coupons. Turbo fuel. We've got another slug, actually. Nice. Oh, we've got more steel and everything. Could build another railway bridge. Do we need anything else? Yeah, let's just take a bit of everything. Probably need something eventually. Alright, so just really quickly, we're going to open up the awesome shop. How could I forget? Because we're not yet getting the conveyor poles that's hang from the ceiling. So let's go to, there it is, conveyor ceiling mount. Oh, weird. Before the update, it was in the center. Anyway, wonder why it moved. Foundations. Let's get the corner ramp pack, the inverted corner ramp pack. We now have 50 tickets, actually. Tilted walls, ramp walls, all of that. That's great. Let's give it to me. Give it to me all. Stairs, corner rooftop, glass roof, steel roof, tar roof. All good. Have everything down here. How much is all this? 38. Throw in the fix-it factory cart, and we've got room for 2 more. We could get the coffee mug. Still don't have it. So, yeah, 49 tickets. Let's go. Boom. So how do we get that? So we'll just maybe get rid of the boombox for a sec. Yes. We have our coffee mug. Does that mean I've beat the game? Am I done now? I finished the game. Can I wrap up this series now? I don't have to do it anymore. Oh yes. Num 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 num. You can actually hear the metal clank. I heard it there a second ago, didn't I? Is that a first time used thing? I've never used it before, to be fair. It's actually useful to have those remains now. Okay, so now we can basically hang... Oh my god. The conveyor wall mounts off the ceiling. I wonder, does it work, excuse me, with rooftop stuff? Is it in... Yeah, I don't know where it is. Logistics, I guess? Conveyor ceiling mount? Oh, it does work. And can we drag it down? You actually can't, but you can just attach it to other ones. Cool. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, it'll help with designing our bigger factories for sure. Now that we have that, now that we know that we can use it, we can definitely make use of it, if that makes sense. There's no real use for it in a place like this, but in... Sorry. In future places there will be use for it. Oh my god, that's just way worse, isn't it? He's loose inside my own factory now. Sorry man, it has to be done. How much health do these things have? Jesus Christ, what's going on? Do you have any remains? He's still making noise. Alright, well, anyways. Enough of that. We'll get the... I was gonna say, we'll get the cleaning crew to take him out of here. So... I gotta go get some smokeless powder. What we're gonna have to do... Yeah, I guess I'll drive back, actually. Get the smokeless powder and drive back up here. So I'm gonna go to Circuit City first. And we'll get the supercomputer. And see how many we've made. Top it up if it needs more things. In fact... Yeah, I don't need to get plastic. So, I'll see you in a bit. We'll be at Circuit City. Alrighty, I've just arrived at Circuit City. Let's go see how many supercomputers we made. So we needed 50 in order to get programmable splitters. We've made 26 plus the 8 that I have. So we have to top this machine up. Let's see, what are you lacking? Computers. If I wasn't so lazy, I would go upstairs and just feed these computers in, because we make computers here. But I'm too lazy. So yeah, I'll leave that. We'll go get some more AI limiters and come back with more stuff. I'll just take these out. So we've got 35 in total. So we're pretty close. Yeah, the trip back down to the main starting area, I guess. And then the trip back here should be done by then, I think. So I'm going to be driving back down now. I want to go pick up some black powder. Alright, I'm just on top of my base. I decided just to continue here because I have to quickly run out and get some more steel. But I thought I would show how fast ziplining is now with a bit more of a long distance journey. It's pretty much faster than the drive was down here. It'd be nicer just to create like a zipline that goes all the way home basically. It's super fast when holding shift now. Look how fast I'm going. Alright, cool. So this is where we have steel in a big containers here. I'll just grab as much of that as we can and then head back. So I picked up the smokeless powder. Oh, sorry, not smokeless powder, black powder. I'm not going to go all the way out to the sulfur factory and get even more. That should be enough to create what I need for a few of the things in the MAM. Let's pick up some speed here. I feel like the traversal is like really underrated in this game. It's feels quite good to move around, you know? Let's see if we can make the whole... Oh yes! Oh my god, the speed! Keep the momentum going. Kind of. That was pretty good. Alright, gonna get back at the Explorer. We're just gonna head straight back to Circuit City, see how many supercomputers we've made, and get the refinery up and running as well. Alrighty, I'm at Circuit City. We have made 15 computers, or supercomputers. So we'll just grab those. That gives us a stack of 50. We'll just allow this machine to continue doing what it's doing. It needs more high-speed connectors. We need to make another 50. And then we'll unlock some stuff in the MAM. Alright, 60 high-speed connectors. Boom. Alright, that should keep it running for a little while. It needs more AI limiters. It's got all the plastic. It needs more computers. Good. Alright, that should keep it running for quite a while. Oh, we're actually... Wait a second, how's that happened? What's happened here? High-speed connector, go forward, computer, go to the right. Oh, I think I've got a bug. I did see this actually. Someone posted this before where they said like the belts are just stopping with weird gaps on them. Like there's no reason this shouldn't just keep going through. Like why wouldn't it? You know? Oof, that's a rough one. That's a pretty bad bug, I think. Well, it is experimental. I guess I can go clear them and allow things to run a bit later. But anyway, let's just check for the MUM and see what we got. Well, what could I... Yeah, should we go with the programmable splitter? I think so. Or the geothermal vent. I won't be doing that in this episode. I'll be doing the next one. So I'll go with this one because I can mess around with this now. Alright, cool. So that gives us access to the programmable splitter. Now, I have seen this before. It's effectively a smart split. We'll just put both down, actually. So smart splitter there. Got a programmable splitter here. What does it need? It needs one supercomputer. Let's just get it real quick. Oh, we've already made 7. Wow, that was quick. I'll just copy this. Programmable. There we go. So you can see it actually has a little visual difference as well. It's got little computer dials and stuff on the sides. It's kind of cool. This just has lights, and a regular splitter doesn't have any lights. So it's cool. Alright, so a regular smart splitter has a left, center, and right output, and you can determine what good that is. Not the amount, but what it is. A programmable splitter, as far as I know, is the exact same, except it can have many different things on one category. So you could say, you know, a bunch of different things. And that's what makes it an upgrade. And I guess that's it. And that will allow me, like I said, I'll be able to add up, all I'll have to do is type like ore, and I'll go iron ore, copper ore, deuterium ore, and then there'll be like bauxite, whatever, coal, whatever. And in the Hyperforge, we can have these things handle all of our 9 types of ore, I guess. So I'm going to see if we can fix this bug real quickly, or just get it to kickstart it, really, like reactivate it if possible. Just while we're here. So I'll get rid of this belt, get rid of this, get rid of that. It doesn't seem to be happening anywhere. Oh, it is happening back here, is it? Oh no, not necessarily. Oh, well, yeah. It is happening here. It's getting all backed up. Ah, what a damn shame. Maybe it just needs to be rebuilt. Well, that's got it flowing again, so that's good. That's something. So, instead of this, can I upgrade this to a programmable? No? Not allowed to upgrade it. So what's it doing? To the right is computers, to the center is high-speed connectors. Okay, so we'll get rid of that box. Okay, that was the slowest way ever of doing that, but it's done. So let's go programmable splitter with an input from me. To the right, we want computer. To the center, we want high-speed connector, and now we can add this new thing, supercomputer. And left, overflow. Okay. And then we'll hook this back up. Hope for the best. And now we can feed this in. And it'll send out these supercomputers. And it should know what to do with them now. Whereas before it didn't. It'll get a little bit jammed at first, but it should be okay. Man, that thing is a black hole in there. How deep in did they go before they come back out? There we go. Jeez. Like 7 of them went in there. Little vortex in there. Alright, cool. Well, we still have one thing left to do. Oh, actually, I guess I should wait and see it come through, right? I'm after looking away at the most satisfying point, which is seeing our things go through and out the right way. Although it doesn't seem to be working. What was this? This is overflow, right? It should be flowing out to the left now, then. Maybe I'll try this again. Let's just not put a joint in it. Just do it straight like that. High-speed connectors right there at the front. It should go straight. Damn. I don't know. Should work. Let's just get rid of this for a second. See if that makes any difference. Let's see the supercomputer go through first. See if it was just a bug with the high-speed connector. So in you go. You should go out right out the center. Yeah, there's something wrong. That is correct. I've done this before. I've played with this before. Not in this episode or whatever, but when I was testing out how I could do a split of 9 types of ore. I'm pretty sure I've got it right. I just don't think it's working. This is the center output. Let's say Annie as well. Let's just see if that'll do anything. Yeah, something's not right with it. Oh well, I don't know. That's a pretty severe bug actually. Hopefully that can be fixed in the next hotfix. Either way though, for now we are producing all this stuff. I might just have to get rid of this and just feed it into a box then for temporarily, just to keep things flowing. If you think I'm doing something wrong or whatever, free, absolutely let me know, but I don't think so. At least they'll all just flow into this one. That's not going anywhere, so it has lots of room to store up all this crap, so. And by crap, I mean computers, high-speed connectors, and supercomputers. Is this still making stuff? It is. Alrighty, so with that done, let's head back over to the oil facility and finish off our last task today, which is to power... do the power boost. We did the power boost. That seems to be working fine. Power hasn't tripped or gone off or anything wrong. And then set up the Smokeless powder refinery. And then we'll open up the MOM and see if we can't get ourselves... I think it was the rifle, which is locked behind Smokeless powder. So you might be able to make enough to do that. Well, actually, I'll have to wait for it to be produced. So we'll probably just activate the machine and then leave it. And just check over everything one last time. Make sure everything's working. Alright, here we are. In my truncated factory. We're going to make this place look good in the next episode. Right, smokeless powder. So let's just hand in the black powder. The heavy oil residue is actually filling up. Which I'm a bit perplexed as to why. Because if these 4 run all the time, that's 64%. Yeah, so the fuel must be getting backlogged. What I could do as well is just drain the fuel. So that fuel is going to completely empty out. There's a bunch in here that's going to flow back out to it. So it'll keep things running, I'm sure, no doubt. It shouldn't be getting backed up though. We did the math. You saw it. We did the math. I think it might just be a hangover from when it was backed up before, I think. So there's definitely more than enough of these machines. And they're not even full of turbo fuel, which is good, I guess. Oh, I know what the problem. Valves, my biggest enemy. Yeah, just let it open up. Open it up. Open up all the valves. I totally forgot that in the power room, it probably is fluctuating quite wildly actually, because I'm limiting the amount of fuel that could come in here. Yeah, it's going crazy. Oh my god, what a mistake. But yeah, these don't need to be locked anymore at all. We can just let them free flow. There's your problem. That's it. It's just the 2 valves that control turbo fuel. That's fixed now. So this should stay consistently at about 8,500 or whatever it was. Yeah, that should do it. And that should prevent fuel getting backed up. And heavy oil residue should never get backed up, really. It should be, if anything, we shouldn't really be able to make anything in the first refinery there. But obviously right now we can. 34 smokeless powder. So the last thing I'll do, it's making it pretty quickly actually. Can we just overclock this machine really quick? And then we'll throw down a MOM. And then we'll go into sulfur. And this is it here. So we needed 200 smokeless powder and 200 iron rebar in order to make explosive rebar. And then eventually we can get our... So it's only 50 more. Now we can get the rifle. And then we'll have to make one. And then all the way down at the bottom, the most important thing, 6 extra inventory slots, which I need so desperately. And we've almost finished all these chains then. We'll be able to do the geothermal vents, and then with the ammo types that we're getting, we'll be able to do the bullet guidance system. So looking forward to that. We should be able to do it in the next episode, really. There'll be a few things left in there that we won't be able to do just yet, but most of the stuff we'll be able to get. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Jam-packed, full of stuff. Looking good though, right? I think so anyway. Unfortunately, we do have that little bug over there, what seemingly feels like a bug, but in terms of power, we've like at least doubled our output, if not more, right? 250% of our output, really. So power output's good. Turbo fuel's balanced, I think. We now have access to supercomputers, programmable splitters. Feels damn good, man. We're making good progress. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support the channel directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. You'll also get exclusive access to my Discord, where there's dedicated channels for each series I'm doing, and it's a great place just to meet others and make some friends.